Welcome to Xtra, presented by VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter, very censored. You can follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Be sure to follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Check out the website too. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. Once again, that is xtra.vdgsports.com. There's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Everything is there. Like, subscribe, share, or do whatever it is you do there. And if you want to keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, how I'm doing, and get a behind the scenes of Xtra, even though this one is not sponsored by VDGsports.com, you can find others that are sponsored by VDGsports.com. And as I said, me, my whereabouts, my well-being, if you're into that, my socials, that is social medias and not my actual socials. Now that that's out of the way, I have to do what I normally do because it is now, I guess, a routine or some form of greeting or just me showing my gratitude, which I must do it. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. Even if it's 0.5 seconds, even if it's a 10th of a second, 100th of a second, regardless, you decided to give me a shot, give me a chance. I'm in your debt. I'm honored. Thank you. Non-verbal peeps, yes, I'm bringing you up before the regs. I just have to because, yes, what you feel and what you said is true, but don't fret. I'll survive. I'll get through. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, we do this almost every day. Regs, you come back like it's every day. Regs, you show me your appreciation, and I'm showing you my appreciation. Yay, regulars. Not mount up, but regulars. I was definitely going to let this breathe. I definitely was going to give this a little bit more time, but I just decided, hey, why not? There are some things that I just don't do anymore, and it's not no rhyme or reason behind it. It just happened to be that way. And when I think about doing it again, there is something that reminds me that you might want to think twice about the situation. You might want to think twice about before you let this happen again. A few of you know. Nonverbal, you know, because we already communicated this because it's nonverbal. Regs, you'll know as soon as I make it verbal. Noobs, you have no clue, but that is okay. Just go ahead. Sit back and enjoy the ride as I navigate through the rough weather, the tough times, and maybe some jokey jokes. And that's he jokey jokes, not the ha-ha jokey jokes. Later on, you'll get it. Later on, you understand. Or you can just go back and review the historical documents and see which is which and what is what. Or raise your hand and ask a friend. Or reach out and touch. Not physically, virtually. And maybe, just maybe, I'll respond, or someone else will respond, or you would get an answer. How about that? You would get an answer. Now, I was going to let this breathe. But I decided not to because something came up that reminded me of how and why that I'm really not missing this or anything associated with this in the first place. Now, before you draw a question mark over your head or before the little hamster on the wheel stop running because he's tired and he just don't know what to do, or before your light bulb break. I'm gonna just say this. I'm talking about adult beverages. It's been about 2 years, almost 2 years, going on 2 years since I've had an adult beverage, and it's not what you think, noobs. It's not what you think, noobs. It's more so of I just don't choose to have an adult beverage because I decided long ago that I was gonna do this healthy lifestyle, and me continuing or trying to live up to the healthy lifestyle that I've chosen for myself, drinking adult beverages just don't fit in unless it's for social occasions. And as you know, can't be social these days. Not now. Anyways, it's getting to the point where you can again, but currently, right now, it's kind of hard to be social, and it's kind of hard to be a fanatic because some fanatics are just taking a little too far. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And that would be one of the main reasons why I would have a tasty adult beverage. Is to mingle, to interact socially with my peers, my fanaticals or radicals. Hey, you pick, you choose. I'm just the narrator here. I'm just the narrator here. And that will be the reason behind me having a tasty adult beverage. I'm not going to do it alone. I'm not going to do it by myself. And I'm not just going to do it to do it because that would just fly in the face of my healthy lifestyle that I chose to live and this healthy lifestyle that I'm a part of. It would just prevent me from doing that. And so I made the personal choice to not do it. To each his own, unless you have a problem. And I'd suggest you seek help, get help, or ask for help. And there's nothing wrong with needing help. And there's nothing wrong if you have a problem. We're not perfect. We are not perfect. I have issues and problems with a lot of things as well. There's no shame in that. There's definitely no shame in that. But I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. So you probably should seek professional help if that's the case, or if you fall in that tier. But I made this personal choice for myself that I decided, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. Adult beverages is fine. Praying to the porcelain goddess, hugging the porcelain goddess, making sure the porcelain goddess is held tightly because I care for her so much. That was fun. That was good. That was great. But now it's like, yeah, but if the time comes, if I have to do it again, sure, it'll happen. I'm pretty sure it would at some point. But there was something that took place. There was something that happened that reminded me, that gave me a good reminder of why that I'm not doing it. Why that I chose to go the healthy lifestyle road, path, whatever you want to call it. See, it's the headaches. It is the hangover. It is the morning after, the day after, possibly a walk of shame, and everything else mixed in it. There's no shame in my game, but the walk of shame, it just got that name, and that is the name. And if I say it that way, you can understand what I'm trying to get across. And that's the entire reason of me saying the walk of shame. Or should I just call it the walk? That's a side note. Anyway, continue on. No shiny objects. I got to steer this car clear, straight. Come on. What kind of driver am I? If I would just be distracted by every shiny object that's thrown in front of my face, even though I'm singing, dancing, and making my chest pop inside the G-Ride, because that's what I do when I drive. That is what I do. There's something that usually reminds me of a reason or why I sort of gave it up in the first place, or the reason that I decided to go extremely hard on a healthy lifestyle. Not only because it was hard to do the balance, it was hard to balance both being a connoisseur or an expert in adult beverages, and also being an expert or being on top of my game when it came to the healthy lifestyle and being able to be efficient as possible and maximize my time. It was just too hard to balance. So I chose one, and I chose the one that gave me less problems and less pains and less aches and so forth. Well, recently, and like I said, I should have gave this time to breathe, but I decided not to because see some say something, see some say something, see some say something. And me protecting the guilty in the game here would be me protecting myself, but I think I have to share. Sharing is caring. I have to share this moment. Well, I sort of get these headaches. I sort of get these headaches every so often, like maybe once a year, twice a year, or it can go 3 or 4 years and maybe have one. It's not often. It's not often I get these headaches and I just pretty much have to shut down because it is just bad. I think they call them a migraine, but I don't know if it's a migraine. I do not know. All I do know is it feels like I've been drinking without the drinking part. It feels like I've been drinking without the drinking part. I mean, sensitive to the light, check. Unable to move, check. Unable to process information without the head hurting, check. That, I mean, it's like something serious. And that reminded me, or that reminds me of, hey, do I really want to go down this road, this path again? Because you can only block out so much of the light. You can only block out so much of the light. And I knew that you can only block out so much of the light. That's why years ago in advance, I purchased I purchased a device that go over my eyes and basically cover my face. And it's not a mask, but it could be a mask, but it's not a mask. And it blocks out the light. It blocks out the light and it prevents the light from seeping or seeking in or getting in my eyes. How about that? I don't want to use big words here. Getting in my eyes. And that helps because without the light in my eyes, the head won't throb. Without the light in my eyes, the being that's beating the drums and yelling and making noises and doing all kinds of music that I just don't properly understand, it's not going to bother me. It's not going to bother me. That is getting away, or that is overcoming one issue, one problem. The other issue, the other problem is moving and movement. Well, I've been practicing staying still, going off into the corner, but not standing up, but just mentally going off in the corner and just putting my dunce hat on and just letting everything or blocking everything out and letting everything just go by without bothering me. Just move freely without bothering me. Enough practice. I was able to be efficient enough to be able to do that on command, especially in times of need, especially when I have to be still, not move, and also block out the light, which the device blocks out the light. And I've prepared to not be able to move and just concentrate and not necessarily focus, because even focusing and thinking and anticipating and all of that stuff makes it hurt worse. Those are the moments, those are the times that I wished and I hoped and I would like to pray to the porcelain goddess, because praying to the porcelain goddess, I know that there's a time limit that this takes place. I know there's a time limit where the goddess or the god would say, okay, Vince, you had enough. Okay, Vince, your time is up. Your time is over. or I could drink enough H2O. I could drink enough high quality H2O to allow my body to replenish the nutrients and replenish all of the products that I depleted it of, and in turn get rid of the waste products that I no longer need. So in that sense, worshiping and praying to the porcelain goddess will be a little bit better than what I am describing now. Because now, with the just regular headache or whatever it is, there's no praying to the porcelain goddess. Nah, there's no time limit on when this is going to go away. Nah, but the same symptoms. Light, yeah, problem. Moving, yeah, problem. Noise, yeah, problem. Involving any of the 6 senses, or maybe 5, or maybe 4, or 3. Definitely more than 2, though. Definitely more than 2. Involving any of the senses hurts. That always reminds me of the decision, the choice that I made, the path that I chose. And I'm like, yeah, it's good. I'm okay. I'm okay without the adult beverage. I'm all right with it. Now, do not get me wrong. If the social moment or social time comes about and I choose to have 1 or 2, then I'll reevaluate things, and that would just be for the time, the moment, and not necessarily a daily thing, a weekly thing, or something that occurs a lot. This will be for a special occasion, a special moment to celebrate, to wash away the tears and the pain for, teams or entities or organizations, what have you, proving that they are anyway, can't get sidetracked here. Cannot get sidetracked. I know when and where, if I would choose to indulge in adult beverages. And that's my choice. My choice. Nothing wrong. No problems with it. All I'm just saying is there hasn't been a time where I could be social, where I could hang, where I can be with my peeps, my partners, my road dogs and aces and what have you. And we are celebrating, or we are doing what it do because we're holding up a championship. We're holding up a trophy. We're doing something that represents winning. Because my curse is for not praying to the porcelain goddess and for not worshiping the porcelain goddess like I probably should have. My teams, my organizations, my franchises, my clubs are nowhere near close to winning. Nowhere near close to winning. Therefore, yep, you know the drill. You know the drill.